Hello everyone, welcome back to the CA universe. Today I'm going to share with you the answer key to paper 4, that is economics and business and commercial knowledge for the December 22 foundation paper. Alright, now you might be well aware of the fact that the ICAI does not allow its students to take home with them the question paper for paper 3 and paper 4 because these are objective type questions and the questions are repeated. I mean to say the previous year questions are repeated in the subsequent exams, sometimes, not always, and only some questions, not all. Therefore, they do not allow the questions to be taken home, the question papers. So, this question paper, which I'm going to provide you over here, is totally based on memory and is not in the same sequence as it was in the paper. But I've tried to provide all the correct answers as far as possible. In case any question or any answer to a question is wrong, please let me know in the comment section below. And do not forget to subscribe the channel. Let's begin. This is the first question which says identify the sector where FDI is not permitted. Now FDI is foreign direct investment, okay? And there are total 8 sectors where FDI is not allowed, neither through the government route nor through the automatic route. And the correct answer to this question would be atomic energy. Now, if you see here, I've provided you with the other options as well because this question is from the study material and it appeared in the paper in the same way. I mean, they did not even change the sequence of the questions. So what you need to remember is that those MCQ questions which are provided at the back of each chapter are very important. Okay, now let's move ahead to the next question we have. The question says, when was Reliance incorporated? So the answer is 1966. The Reliance was incorporated in 1966, and I've not given you over here the other options because they are of no use. Okay, you must remember just the correct option. The next question is, who gave the time element? Now, the time element was given by Alfred Marshall, and there's one thing that is the ICI focuses on these special terms, that is, that who give the time element or who give the definition of scarcity, the answer to which would be Robinson, and who gave the theory that science deals with the wealth of nation. It was given by Adam Smith. So these are certain points which you must remember because ICI will ask any one of these or all of these questions definitely in the exam because these cover the different areas from the syllabus. Now the next question was, according to Dash, trade cycles occur due to the onset of innovation. So you must remember whenever there's the word innovation, the answer or the correct answer would be Schumpeter, right? Next question. Oligopoly is also known as group oligopoly. Theory question, you need to learn it. There's no other way out. Next question over here would be King demand model is also known as Sweezy model. Now the best way to remember is that why is it known as Sweezy model? So it was given by Paul A. Sweezy. So his surname was Sweezy. That's why it's known as his model, Sweezy's model. Best way to remember it. And this was there were two questions that were asked in the paper based on King demand curve. The next question, that is King demand curve. Now this question, if you see, this would be the diagram, somewhat like this, and this would be the king over here. So in the king demand curve, they are asking that the upper part, that would be this part, which type of elasticity does it have? The answer was greater than 1. Why? Now because when the firm increases its price, so there's a greater reduction in the sales, or you can say demand for the product of that particular firm in the market than the increase in price. That's why it is the answer is greater than 1. Now, if they would have asked for this portion, then it would be have been less than 1. Why? Again, because whenever a firm reduces its price, there is a lesser uh, increase in its demand in comparison to the price because the other firms also decrease their price. Okay, let's move ahead. The next question was, when was Asian Paints incorporated? The correct answer was 1942. The other options were 1868, 1949, and 1950. My answer went wrong. Never mind. Let's move ahead. not an FMCG product. Now, the answer was automobile, okay, because it's not a fast moving consumer good. But you need to pay attention over here because this question is a modified question. It was there in the MCQ's question provided at the back of the chapter, wherein the answer was Maruti. So what ICAI did was they just converted the options, and instead of Maruti, they wrote the option automobile in the question paper. You see, so the back MCQs again, I'm saying very important. You must thoroughly learn them before the exam, and these are real life proof that they were asked in the paper. Next question says, when unemployment is rapidly declining and growth rate is negative. So this question relates to the business cycle chapter, and the correct answer was contraction. The other options included recession and recovery, which were incorrect, right? Moving ahead, we have the supply curve. There's high competition and many sellers. The elasticity would be zero. Okay, I'm not explaining in detail, otherwise the video will be very lengthy. Now the supply curve is infinite when we have the vertical axis. Okay, so it would be somewhat like this. Now, if we talk of perfect combination, in that case, the demand curve is like this. Here, the supply curve is like this, right? Now, not a type of government policy. So you must remember that there are four types of government policy: facilitative, restrictive, protective, and administrative. Here, if we see the development one, we can consider it as a facilitative one. And when we talk of the anti-traffic, it could come under restrictive policy, but it itself is not a policy. That's why this is the wrong one. I mean, that would mean that this is the answer, right? Now let's move ahead. The next question is not a characteristic of perfect competition. So advertisement awareness is not necessarily a characteristic of perfect competition. That's why it's the answer. The other option included the large number of buyers and sellers, then total revenue is equals to product into quantity. I've not given them because you're already aware of those. Now not okay, so it's not part, I'm so sorry over here. It's not part of expansion, part of economic cycle. So expansion part means if you see over here, this is a typical example of business cycle. This you can see is the contraction part. This is the trough. Then we have the expansion part and the peak. So they are saying that what is not a part of the expansion part. So rise in unemployment. Why? Because when there is expansion, the employment increases and the unemployment decreases. So this was not part of the expansion. All right. The other options were not provided here because it would have increased the length of the question then. Now, my customer first is the vision of which bank? The correct answer here was SBI. Many students got this answer wrong, but it was a simple direct question which was from chapter 3 of business organization in BCK. Now, this again here is a special topic. Now, this was not there in the MCQs, but this was there in the chapter, in the starting of the chapter. So housing bubble burst. We had to answer the year. There were the options provided. 2007 was the answer. Now similarly, we have the technology bubble burst, which was around 1998 and 2000, and we had the recession that was in 1929 and 30 due to the U.S. economy. Those questions can also be asked. This was asked in December 22, and it was a important question. That's why. Now, ADR stands for American Depository Receipt. That would be the correct answer. It is given in the back of the chapter, right? The next question is if increase in price of X. So we have a commodity X whose price increases, and then there is an increase of demand for Y. So we see that there's a direct relationship. So as the price of X is increasing, the demand for Y is also increasing. So they are substitutes. That would be the answer. Next question, average cost. If you see, okay, average cost is 150 for 7 units, fixed cost is 350. They are asking what is the proportion of total variable cost in average cost, and the answer was 100. Now I would like to explain over here how come the answer is 100. So if you multiply 150 into 7, that would come out to be 1050, right? That would be the total cost, right? Now when you subtract the fixed cost from the total cost, that is 350, you get 700 rupees, right? Now 700 is the variable cost here. So you have to find out what is the variable cost, uh, the proportion of variable cost in the average cost. So what you're going to do, you're going to do 700 upon 1050 into 150, right? And then you will get the answer as 99.999, and that, when rounded off, comes to 100. That would be the correct answer. It is MCQ question from the study material. Next question. Price of mutton rises by 5% and demand for chicken by 20%. These are substitute goods, as we know, and we had to find out the cost price elasticity using the arc elasticity method. That would be Q2 minus Q1 upon, I'm so sorry, it would be percentage change in quantity upon percentage change in price of the other commodity, right? So we did 5% upon 20%, and we came to the answer 0.25, right? Now let's move ahead to the next question. It says Indian LPG is the product of which corporation? And IOCL was the correct answer, right? Now, not a cyclic product. The answer was washing powder, because washing powder is the demand is throughout the year. Next question, not a central economic problem. Now, the option to this question is something I do not remember exactly, but the inference I took from those points was that we had to find out how to, for whom to, and when to, and what to. If you see, what, for whom, and how are the questions to solve the central economic problem, and when to produce is not a question for central economic problem. Similarly, you have to see the examples which have been given in the paper, and uh, you know then infer the meaning of it. Okay. Then India follows which type of economy? It would be mixed economy. The question can also be asked that what was the type of economy which India was following before independence and after independence? It is provided the study material. Now, this was all for this video. The next part of this video will be coming soon, where I will be giving more answers to the questions which came in the December 22 foundation exam for economics and business and commercial knowledge. I have not included them in this video in order to keep the length of this video short. Okay. Thank you for watching, and do not forget to smile. Thank you so much.